My name is Rolanda Mingo. I am the owner, founder, and director of Loana Samakiki Therapeutic Concepts in analyzing understudy remediation, counseling, guidance, and ministerial care services studio analysis by Roe. Analysis by Roe is a self-assigned outpatient counseling and guidance care establishment designed to deal with a number of characteristically disoriented afflictions relative to uneasy mindset, control loss, lack of interest, actions brought on by way of sudden impulses, prolonged agitations, and fears, to name a few. LSKTC and RCGN Care Services outpatient care planning frames under regulatory guidelines and systematic protocols as found to be suitable. Things I can help you with: personal concerns, confusion, uncertainties, suicidal thoughts, family matters, confessions, depression, sleep impairment, relationships, weight management, substance abuse, pain management, stressful endurances, soft peace, general aspects of life such as organizational skills, financial stability, and goal setting, to name a few. Access is available through plan propositions as qualified under cooperating intake regulations and as applied to the nature of initialized presentations. Procedural intercourses generates horizons based on persisting efforts through self-assigned outpatient outreach. Service planning frames inside of motives revolved around individual interests and attempts into progressive manifolds. Faith-based intuitions serves as an underlying resource into reliances. I will rely on you just as much as you should anticipate relying on me. I am available to work with you as your inspirational advisor. My foundation's purposes are to guide unfavorable situations and circumstances towards tolerable stages, to narrate for building spiritual incline, to build strength, to identify influences, to penetrate acknowledgments into action, to categorize among personal gatherings, to understand from individual points of view, to regulate standards among personal environments, to adjust visions by way of learned strategy, to build concrete evidence inside of personal existences, to define whom as an individual, to generate truthful understanding, to gradually form normalcy inside of abnormalities, to surface and resurface awareness, to set aims, to build within scheduled training, to build production into motive, to secure obligatory management among set environments, to advance inside of imaginations, to pattern leadway towards desires, to structure enhancement, to center causes and effects relative to abnormalities, to enhance characters outside of driven fragments, to examine fears and fear-causing congestions, to relish peace, to enhance physical appearances, to settle scores for building inner purposes, to frame responsibilities inside of gathered unions, to structure withholdings among misunderstood and uncontrolled placements, to work with others by way of observance, to establish meaningful grounds, to encourage life driven through faith and absent flesh-bearing authority, to set a pace into resurrected contentment, to safeguard parental steering as a lifelong commitment. Loana Samakiki Therapeutic Concepts and Analyzing Understudy Remediation, Counseling, Guidance, and Ministerial Care Services Studio Analysis by Roe is available for protecting and supporting you, your family, and relations inside of your personal circles. Systematic planning conveniently combines inside of conjunctive pairing for stabilizing personal constructions aligned inside a remedial reform. Through self-guidance generated under short-term outpatient supervision care, your mishaps, letdowns, downfalls, and downtrodden images brought into course while trying to find placement by way of prematurity, through lack of knowledge, and under the conveyance of rush judgment, can be uprooted, frontlined, centered, and restored. And your life can be revived within as early as 8 weeks, guaranteed. Servicing you is my goal. My ethical code: opportunities are available, however, advancement solely depends on an individualized will to grow. Utilizing access framed inside of allotted timescales for corresponding effectively based on concrete evidence into investigations come by way of driven efforts. Absorbing concepts into interest, building character in others, improving others morally, encouraging the hearts of others, directing the attention of others towards a heavenly outreach stance. As a generating principle for transcending favorable dimensions on your behalf, I ask that you set forth great efforts in pursuit of reaching your goals. Framework constructed around satisfactory foreclosures relies on systematic formulas and techniques, alongside of ongoing support and your determining drive. I will be using planned framework throughout my courses of action as found to be suitable. Pairing knowledge inside of interface exchange relays forms solid structures by way of set placements, systematic schedules, and aligned regulations framed under the evaluation response phase segment, assignments, compliance attempt processing methods. Planning into proposals. Together we will deliberate based on incoming data. Together we will deliberate based on outgoing interface exchange processing. Together we will settle favorably among resolutions into conclusions. Together we will penetrate concentration inside of motives for transfusing adequate relief. Motives into my service planning, or planning of services provided, is to free the minds of those that wants to be released, to comprehend with those that wants to be understood, to surface progressively among realities of those that wants to be and do better, to accommodate those that wants to voice effectively, to focus on roots based on acknowledgments into mishaps, aims into progressive attempts, ADCD method, acknowledge, define, calculate, and direct. Together we will recognize acceptances into realizations. Together we will clearly establish grounds towards specifics. Together we will estimate figures based on presumptive measures. Together we will manage personal emphasis into explanation. Underlying reasoning aspects: renewing life with meaning, loving with understanding, feeling good within honest and sound unions, learning with natural ability, struggling without shame, maintaining with sound composure. I will not be held reliable for or allow any derogatory actions or behaviors inside or outside of my responsible environments. All guidance, information shared, and advice given is based on individualized input generated through trusted qualities. All systematically generated output is based on opinionated insights relative to matters presented beforehand. All advice received should be interpreted based on comprehensible knowledge relative to professional judgments revolved around corresponding interpretations. All performances should be responsibly considered as a driven arrangement into personal gain revolved around positive manifestations. All information shared will be kept confidential unless otherwise instructed through verbal or written consent. All written and recorded documentations obtained while undergoing supervision under my care will be kept private. Your privacy will be respected. Under terms, conditions, and this commitment, you agree to honor and respect ongoing demands as a driven opportunity for benefiting your best interests based on your concerns, your situations, your circumstances, your effort and attempts, and your pursuits into expected outcomes. You understand this is a choice. This is your choice. Moving forward is a great idea. Thanks for granting us the opportunity in order to help you reach your goals. I'm available for broadening horizons as a driven favor. We are available for investigating how values forms and changes, investigating why attitudes lead into actions and influences, probing into origins, narrating among specifics, immobilizing shared interests, creating theories, stabilizing successful recoveries, understanding motives, initializing leadway by way of ideological detours, migrating into commonsensical order, defining irrational thoughts and behaviors, frontlining hurtfully engaged motivations, building rewarding productions, understanding causes into effects, simplifying, modeling and remodeling, resurfacing hidden truth, identifying abnormalities, separating prolonged agony from what's realistic, building healthy metabolisms, circulating among healthy constructions into favorable gain. As a leader, I will express sound habits and thoughts, export standards into ethical values as applicable, relay based on understanding into methods of practice, willingly contour to on-demand challenges, develop ongoing knowledge into leading skills and roles, adhere effectively to established procedures and protocols, report knowledge relative to vital information as acquired, assuringly freelance among job settings and environments, clearly understand responsibilities into involvements, prepare daily for leading inside of assigned destinations, remain alert at all times inside and outside of work environments, always speak with authority, professionally and relative to assigned duty, respect others' privacy inside and outside of work environments, represent operating settings in whole regardless of affiliated divisions, enjoy life to the fullest because I am a part of a 5-star operation. Prayer is our key element for securing leadway into substantial gain, reaching into the imagination for aligning faithful expectancies, which allows relief antics, advancements into free-flowing guidance from heaven above, serves as the motivational aspect into reliant resources, and penetrates adherence into ongoing drives, developments, and outcomes. In order to reach into subconscious paths for drawing into adequate responses, I will outline definitions into attempts by way of evidently investigating. Placing on an armor of representation uprightly secures confidence into ongoing pursuits. A genuine posture is greatly needed and symbolizes an honorable character. I will be your guide. Systematic guidelines and planning framed under the research-based segment profession pool underlines productive planning and generating motives into suitable placements for penetrating details into best interests and suitable outcomes. All materials constructed under this process conforms relative to systematic setups, regulates by way of systematic protocols, sets a course through contractual agreements, and derives from characterized, intertwined, and philosophical constructions pertaining to incorporating care needs. Data listed herein is not intended to or will not be used for any purposes other than treatment conducted through the conveyance of systematic and group service exchange care of LSKTC&R, CGN care services. Data listed herein will not be shared outside of patient care needs into methods of understudy guidance, care, and service planning provided by LSKTC&R, CGN care services Mentoring Institute. Data listed herein will only be used for generating purposes framed under the guidance of LSKTC&R, CGN care services Mentoring Institute's remedial and counseling care assistance and support. Systematic interface exchange processions framed under the research phase segment processes projections falls under contractual guidelines into compliance attempt processing and regulates through circulating revolves linked inside of the system's evaluation response phase segment assignment process. Gatherings constructed under this combination sets a course into leadway for compiling concrete substances and frontlining key elements as found to be suitable. Periodic measures as applied to assignments and schedules revolve around systematic framework, operating guidelines, one-on-one management care, self-administered supervision, and faith-based initiatives. The research phase segment process serves as a cyclic generator, which effectively builds standard performance aspects into correspondences under force-fed allegiances. Through coordinating guidelines framed alongside of the building of momentums, detailed and oriented planning, probes into origins, investigations into research, and ongoing support framed under self-supervised management care, nourishment responsibly transitions into resourceful concentration. Sporadic phase shifting throughout the given 8 weeks of understudy guidance is common. Notifications into phase range gears are based on a number of key factors and regulates through numerous fluctuating demands. In order to build substantial gain and compound basements into development, evaluating based on a wide range of concerns has been considered. Contouring inside of multiple setups provided under rapid response fluctuations regulates in order to provide flexible drives into given natures. Therefore, systematic framework and skill planning simultaneously bridge gaps surrounding suitable obligations. Effort-enforced transfusions brought into course under swayed emphasis allows acknowledgments leadway for forming reliable expressions, which grants opportunities for framing measures against offending knowledge, gratifying inside of reasoning aspects, neutralizing curves, and comprehending inside of multiple dimensions. Penetrating markers therefore pinpoints agitations and hidden substances amongst uncertainties, and allows probing to productively surge into upheaval conjunctions in an adequate and timely manner. Outpatient planning into ongoing demands and the reformation of presented circumstances are set in an 8-week time scale. After schedules and assignments are configured and an outpatient projection summary guide is framed, deliberations sets a course for extending into the foreclosure review stage process prior to reaching CAP week 7. Consensual endeavors punctuates indentions, constructs inside of sequence order, and generates alongside of demanding positions framed inside of the system research phase segment processes, grouping procedures as applied. For driving efforts under procession guidelines during CAP week 2 through CAP week 7's procedural reviews. Growth levels, both inclining and declining, regulates through imagery enhancement techniques and are administered through operational guidelines, procedural protocols, systematic formulas, and ongoing demands built alongside of available development constructed under the research-based segment processes, evaluation, response-based segment assignments. Supporting contours into implicated findings, growth levels, and ladders for building improvement, and providing clearer insights, therefore frames as found to be suitable. Swift movements constructed under the two-step flow of communication conveyance method provides ever-changing attempts into remedial reform. Pair of systematic formulas and techniques which build substantial improvisions into understudy remediation, investigative research, and never-ending support.
All materials written and listed throughout this website belongs to Dr. Rolanda Mingo, were organized care of myself, Dr. Rolanda Mingo, were written by myself, Dr. Rolanda Mingo, care of services provided through the Analysis by Rose Studio, owned by Dr. Rolanda Mingo.